Why do we never run out, or hardly ever run out of fuel in our car, but are continually short of raw materials, components, and finished products in our business? Well, here is why. The answer is simply continuous visibility. What if we had continuous visibility of all our SKUs? Could this assist us in never stocking out? Is that even possible? Absolutely. The demand-driven MRP methodology allows this to happen daily. Let's see how our fuel gauge analogy works. With the gauge in the green zone, we're happy the car will take us on our normal daily trips. And when the gauge is in the yellow zone, well, it's still okay. But if we're planning a weekend away, we might want to fill up to ensure we have enough fuel for the trip. If the gauge is in the red zone, then definitely we have a priority to fill up reasonably urgently. So this visibility of our stock levels helps us to decide our priority and the action required with regard to the replenishment of this vital raw material. So how could we translate this into the replenishment of the inventory levels of our raw materials, components, and finished goods? Well, let's create a fuel gauge for an SKU. We'll use our current SKU's daily usage, the lead time to replenish, any minimum order quantity, and demand variability, such as the coefficient of variability, to size the gauge. The beauty of the system is that on an ongoing basis, if any of these parameters change, the fuel gauge, or what we'll now call the buffer, automatically adjusts and right sizes to the current environment. The buffer, like the fuel gauge, has three zones. The green zone, which is basically the replenishment order size, and it indicates the replenishment order frequency based on the daily order usage. The yellow zone is the heart of the demand coverage in the buffer and is calculated using the SKU's average daily usage and the replenishment lead time. The red zone is the safety in the buffer and is there to absorb variability in the supply chain. It acts like the shock absorber on your car's suspensions, smoothing out the lumps and bumps in the road surface. It's not like traditional safety stock. It doesn't function in the same way, but is there to be used when needed because of variability. Let's create a buffer for an SKU that currently has an average daily usage of 20, a replenishment lead time of 14 days, and a minimum order quantity of 200. The green zone will be the minimum order of 200. The yellow zone will be the replenishment lead time multiplied by the average daily usage, which is 14 by 20, which equals 280. The red zone will be calculated using a lead time and variability factor, which can be determined but requires a bit more explanation than we have time for today. But in this case, it would give us a red zone of 175. So how do we use this buffer to determine when to send a replenishment order to our supplier? We use a unique formula called the net flow calculation. And the formula is the net flow equals the current on hand plus on order minus qualified demand. Qualified demand is orders that are due today and in the past, plus any future large known orders of demand. Let's say our situation, we have an on-hand balance of 275. We have an outstanding replenishment of 200 and a qualified demand of 25. The net flow will therefore be 275 plus 200 minus 25, which gives us 450. This will put the net flow in the yellow zone. When the net flow is below the bottom of the green zone, we will receive an order recommendation up to the top of the green zone. In this case, the order recommendation will be the top of the green zone of 655 minus the net flow of 450 will equal the order recommendation of 205 units for delivery in 14 days' time, which is the lead time. Now, what if we had a system that daily calculated the net flow for all your possibly thousands of stock keeping units and presented you daily with a priority list of those SKUs that needed replenishment? Would that really assist you? Well, of course it would. At Demand Driven Africa, we are a channel partner of the Demand Driven Technologies and their IntuiFlow suite of cloud-based, subscription-based demand-driven MRP software, which does exactly what we've been discussing. In addition, we are an affiliate of the Demand Driven Institute and their educational certification programs for all aspects of the Demand Driven Institute's Demand Driven Adaptive Enterprise model. Contact us at www.demanddriven.co.za and let us show you that by setting up a fuel gauges or buffers for all your SKUs, you can gain significant benefits such as improving your service levels, right-sizing your inventory, and in some cases even reducing your lead times. Contact me, Ken Titmus, on ken@demanddriven.co.za or +27 83 700 4354 and let us assist you on your demand-driven journey.